clothes every time they wear them.
They're so
like,
cute.
People think they're cute because I don't care what other people think.
Well, he should.
Yeah.
Because what other people think is very important.
It's the most important thing.
Yeah.
Like.
And if they, like, judge me for something I'm wearing, you betcha. I want to know.
Wardrobe change.
Exactly. Because guess what's the most important thing, Brie?
Other people's opinions.
Other people's opinions.
Yep.
1000%. This is our podcast, What's with the Neighbors,
What's
True
with the
Crime,
Neighbors?
Paranormal. That is Brie.
And that is Amy.
And welcome to Daily Access.
Welcome to Daily Access to Amy's.
Where do you have my banana? Brie, why'd you take my banana?
Alice put it over here last week. She was playing with it.
Rude. Can you toss me my banana? Thank you. That was beautiful.
Sorry. If you can't get that out, then that's okay. Guess what, guys? I burp. So does Amy.
You do?
Yeah. You know, I'm a lady.
I'm a lady.
I'm a real lady. Earlier when we were in gymnastics, there weren't a lot of girls in the class today.
Uh-huh.
And
were there mostly boys?
No, it's an all-girl class.
Oh,
so yeah.
I see. Okay.
I mean, boys are allowed to join too, but all
boys are excluded.
Girls
wow.
just happen
What
to be
type
the
of
ones in there.
type of class do you guys take your kid to? All girls class, no boys allowed.
They have an all boys class there. It's called Ninjas.
Oh, that's cute. I love that.
I may have seen a boy or girl in there once. I don't know.
There would have to be. Girls are allowed in Boy Scouts now.
Truth.
Yeah.
Are they? Oh yeah, they are. I don't know. That's kind of.
Anyways, go ahead. Sorry. With your story, Brie.
So we were watching them, and do you know where the balcony is in the further area in the gymnastics?
Yes.
Not the one that
Like,
we had the party at. The further
next
one.
to where the little tumblers are. Yeah.
So they were over there because it was a smaller class, and outside is like, you see there's like a garage there on the wall for them to probably bring equipment in from outside.
Yeah.
And so right outside you hear this truck going by and it goes mer, mer, and it sounds like a fart. Everybody just lost it, and one of the girls yelled, "That sounded like someone farted." The coach tried to keep a straight face, and she's just like, "Oh man." I was like, how was that not my kid that said that?
I absolutely love that. Kids are the best.
They are. They say what they're thinking, man.
They do. They really, really do.
Kids and old people.
Yes, that's true. So, do you have a neighborhood story for me?
I was looking for it, but I can't find it. Hold on. I had one. I promise you I had one. From memebasedcheeseburger.com.
Oh, okay.
It says, Josh, stop coming by our house. We don't like you. We don't find you interesting. That's all.
Poor Josh.
I'm pretty sure
I
I
like
read
you
that
have,
in the beginning.
yeah. Or something similar.
Sorry, Josh.
We don't like
come by
you.
their house. We don't find you interesting.
Oh, did I write it?
Plain and simple. Oh my God. This is your handwriting.
Awkward.
And it's titled Very Rude Neighbors. This is not very neighborly. Thank you for setting the standards for everybody.
You're welcome.
Oh, wait. Oh. We forgot our new segment. First of all, I have a quick question for you.
Okay.
But it's not the question I wanted to ask you. Because I was going to start asking you questions as well, because I really love this.
Yes.
This isn't the question, but do you still have that reoccurring math dream? I just wanted to remember to ask you this.
Oh, thank you for wondering. It hasn't been... I haven't had it in a while.
Okay.
I've been having a different dream that keeps happening, but I can't really remember the details of it.
Oh.
But it keeps happening, but like in different scenarios keep
weird.
happening.
I don't have dreams like
But
that.
it involves school.
Oh.
Yeah.
You in school?
It was just a really hard time in my life.
I just have weird dreams. Like, I'm never the character in my dream. Like, it's never me. I'm always in someone else's body doing something else.
Oh, that's interesting.
It's so weird. I very rarely have a dream about myself.
Well, I must just be really conceited.
Okay, here's my question for you. If a movie was made about your life, which celebrity or celebrities do you feel would fit your role?
Amy Poehler.
From Leslie Knope?
Yeah.
I love that. I could see that because she's like She can be super hyper energy, but she could be like really sarcastic.
Yeah, and serious.
You are very Leslie Nopish.
Am I?
You
What
can't-
about you?
See, I didn't think about that answer. I don't know. I feel like I really, as a personality wise, I feel like I really relate to J Law because she's Jennifer Lawrence.
Oh,
'Cause
okay.
she's really
yeah.
goofy,
Yeah, she is really goofy.
but she doesn't look anything like me. But she's
No.
really goofy.
Well, she does. I mean, I don't think Amy Poehler looks like me.
Yeah,
but-
she could definitely play me.
Yeah, I think so.
Where's
I
your
like
pizza?
that. I was thinking, Radish. What's her name? Raja
Oh, right from Parks
Park
and
and Rec. Yeah. And okay, so this is why I don't.
Rashida Jones.
Yeah, I haven't seen her in a lot of other movies
Oh.
besides.
I could see her as me.
Yeah, because
She's hilarious.
She's really funny,
Sorry.
but she also like.
I think I'm funny.
No, you are, but also like you also like have this focused mentality, and I think that she has that also, especially like in her acting.
Thank you, buddy.
You're welcome.
That's a big compliment.
Yeah. Anyways, I love that. Thank you.
Do you have a question for me too?
Yes, I do have a question for you. Okay. This is funny. So, I'm glad we didn't choose the exact same question. But if you were a movie, what soundtrack would be in your fight scene?
Oh man. Either "Don't Stop Me Now" by
That's a good one.
Queen,
Yeah.
or "Sun Shining in the Sky." I know that doesn't really go with a fight song,
Mr.
but
Blue Sky?
yes, I've always seen that song. You know,
That's really funny that you said that because when you were saying "Don't Stop Me Now," that was the song that was playing in my head.
Stop me now.
Yeah.
Having such a good time.
Mr. Blue
Having a
Sky.
ball.
My brother wants Mr. Blue Sky to be played at his funeral.
Oh. It's such a happy, upbeat song.
It
though.
is.
I love that song. It's impossible to be like feeling like you're having a bad day if you hear that song. I love that song.
Yeah.
And I also love "Don't Stop Me Now."
Do you want to know mine?
Yes.
Okay. I thought about this for a solid like 20 seconds. So it would be "Break Stuff" by Limp Bizkit.
I just added it to my playlist or to my
Love
library.
it. I love it.
Anyway, also we thought Quagmire. Did you come up with a listener question?
Sure.
If not, it's okay.
No, I did not.
It's okay. So we decided that we would come up with also a listener question for you guys and see how well you're studying or listening to us. It's like some homework.
We have homework for you.
So
Brie had homework for me last week or the week before, or whatever it was, and now she has homework for you. Look at her just like
Ba-boom.
passing out homework to everybody as if she's teacher Brie over here.
Yeah. Yeah. So on Monday I'll post asking. I'm not going to ask the question in the post just because I want to test
Monday
you
after next.
and see if you actually. Yeah. Yes. Every Monday after the episodes come out, I'm going to post the question and you're going to comment your answer. And I'm not going to put the question up there because you should have listened to the episode to hear the question.
Correct.
So, what's the funniest way you've injured yourself?
Oh, I love that one.
Oh, I guess we could comment later. Or we could tell.
Can you tell me now? Because I want to tell you mine.
I feel like I have a couple of different ways. Last year, I was at the post office. That was pretty funny. It wasn't funny at the moment, but I was at the post office and I was pissed off because the package that I had wouldn't fit in my car. So I'm already mad and I'm coming out marching, cussing, yelling and stuff like that and being total Karen.
Right.
And I've got my keys in my hand and it's icy out and I slip.
It's really hard to
Bus-
picture you being angry.
I was so angry. This was me being angry because I talk loud when I'm angry.
Oh, okay.
And I slip and I bust my butt, hurt my back really bad, and then my key went through my hand. And I had to go to the clinic or whatever to go get it checked out. I ended up getting like blood poisoning or whatever.
Yeah,
the
that's
day
right.
after.
Septic.
But the
She
other
almost died, you
one,
guys.
yeah, I almost died. The other one would be in like 6th or 7th grade when I was walking back to my table with my lunch in my hand, and I did like a Spider-Man fall, and a Mary Jane fall, and all my lunch
Mary Jane.
Mary Jane from Spider-Man.
Oh, okay.
MJ.
Mm-hmm.
MJ, sorry. She slips and all of her lunch goes everywhere,
Mm-hmm.
but he caught it, but there's no one there to catch it. And milk went everywhere. And
That's depressing
every
for you.
single kid had to have laughed at me inside the lunchroom.
that's
I was just
so
like,
embarrassing.
and I walked back to the lunch lady and she was like, here's your lunch. She gave me like a free lunch because she saw what happened. It was so sad.
I'm sorry. I love both of those.
What happened to you?
I have two. So this one isn't funny, but I want to share it because I feel like it's really important to advocate for children that are traumatized by parents injuring them. So I was like in 3rd grade maybe, and I was riding my bike. And there was like this, like I was on a bike trail with my mom, and we were like having a cute little daughter-mom date. And there's like a little like path that like left the bike trail, and then it met up in the bike trail just like around a little bout. Like it was very small, but at the end it had like this cool little jump. And I was like, ooh,
Sick.
I want to go off this jump. And my mom's like, okay, I'll meet you over there. And so she goes. But by the time I get to the jump, and like you jump and then you land onto the cement.
Right.
I got there and she was like right there also. So I slammed on my brakes because I didn't want to like run into her. I flew over the handlebars. Why are you laughing? This is not funny. I flew over the handlebars, went face plant into the cement, and my 2 front teeth came out.
No.
And I am sitting there screaming. And you know what my mom was doing? Where's your teeth? Where's your teeth? I was so mad at her. And so
How
this was.
old were you?
I was like maybe 6 or 7. I don't know. And so.
Were they permanent teeth?
No, they were baby
God,
teeth.
Thank God.
But so this was before cell phones, and so a guy across the street saw the whole thing happen. Like he was out in his driveway, and so my mom goes over there and uses the phone and has my dad come pick me up. And she's like, "Do you want to walk home with me?" I was like, "No, have Daddy come pick me up." I was so mad at her.
You did this to me, Mom.
So as you can see, I have let it go. But I haven't.
She's healing.
I'm healing. Here's another one. So, this one was embarrassing because I had to tell everyone what happened, and that's what was embarrassing. So I was leaving the bus stop. I was in 6th grade. I was leaving the bus stop, and the boy across the street, Nick Scrimma. If anyone knows him, you all know who Nick Scrimma is. He was like a scumbag, like. But like not in like a bad way. He was just like, he was like a player. He always had a girlfriend.
Oh, okay.
You know, but he had the hugest crush on me growing up.
Ugh,
Biggest
gosh.
crush, and I never dated him because I knew I was like, oh my gosh,
I have
Nick
that problem
Scrimma.
too all the time.
I know, it's rough, dude. So Nick Scrimma always had a crush on me, and we got off the bus, and he was chasing me. Well, right before that, my mother doesn't know this part, but on the bus, he's like, "Amy, do you wear thongs?" And I was like, oh my god. Like so inappropriate, like, and that's why I never dated Nick's grandmother. Like he was just a butthead. So anyway, so we get off the bus and he's chasing me because I don't know what's gonna happen when he catches me. I don't know. So
He's gonna yank your underwear up and see they're thongs. It's a thong.
So I turn around to make sure he's like far behind me, and I trip and I fall. And I land on my arm and break my arm.
You broke your arm before?
Yeah, twice actually.
Oh my God, see, we're learning so much about each other.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, yeah. So I broke my arm, but I didn't cry until I got home. I just held my arm, and he kept apologizing. I was like, "It's fine, Nick," and I just kept walking. Like, we had to walk like a half a
Fine,
mile.
Dick, it's Nick. No. No.
Yeah. So it was embarrassing because they're like, "How'd you break your arm?" And I was like, Nick's grandma was chasing me. Like, how embarrassing is that, Brie?
Okay, Nick, I hope you're better with girls now.
He has a daughter, so he must
you
have
don't
been.
chase them anymore unless it's your child. And I hope you don't ask them what kind of underwear they're wearing
Yeah,
unless
you
like
shouldn't.
it's
Yeah.
your wife or your like girlfriend.
Do you wear thongs?
Like, okay.
I'm in 6th grade. I don't, barely know what that is.
Yeah. Do you have a story?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna show you guys a story.
You gonna share you guys a story?
Yeah. So I'm gonna tell
Which
you.
story is this? Is this yours?
Yeah,
I don't have one earring.
it's on the other one's on the floor.
Why?
I'm gonna tell you about Robert Lyons.
What?
Yeah,
I don't know who that is.
I didn't know who he was until last night. Also,
Oh, okay.
you like my outfit?
Yes, it's badass. You look like Avril Lavigne with your spiky bracelet and your netted hand thing and your choker and your black netted shirt and your black makeup. Amy looks super hot, guys. I'm not gonna lie. She looks super cool. And when I came in here, she was blaring, "Hey, hey, you, I don't like a girlfriend."
All right. So, if you were, I started reading my question again. So Carroll Stream in Illinois is about 30 minutes from Chicago. There was a woman there named by the name of Linda Bullock. She was 61 years old and she had a son named Robert. She let Robert move back in with her and her boyfriend. I don't know why Robert wasn't living there, or why he had to move back in, but he had to move back in with his mom at the age of 39 years old. I don't know anything about his childhood.
Anything could have happened.
Yeah.
Maybe he got in a divorce.
Well, I
Maybe
kind of
he's trying to
speculate on a
save
few
money.
things. Yeah, I speculate on a couple things later. Like, I don't even know his date of birth.
Oh, okay. That's
So,
fine.
we're fine. So, like I said, I don't know why he had to move back in. Maybe, he was going through rough times, whatever. But he was 39 at the time. So, Linda and Robert were not very close. Are you okay?
Yeah, it felt good.
Okay.
Scratching my head.
It was hard for them to see eye to eye, like on hardly anything. They were known to argue often, and it was also reported that Robert was a troubled child his whole life. So, like, really, like, just little bits of him is what I have. I'm not gonna blame his father, but I tried to find, like, who his father was, and I can't find anything, so I'm gonna guess his dad wasn't in the picture.
Non-existent.
Yeah. But regardless, her son needed a place to stay, so she let him stay. She was like, "Yeah, fine, you can stay with me, even though I like hate your guts." Robert also was diagnosed as a child with bipolar syndrome. At one point, he was hospitalized with it. Robert moved in, and the arguing between them like started almost immediately. They just weren't having a great time. Neighbors reported screaming coming from the house often, and neighbors said that they were both guilty for screaming. Like, it didn't just come from Robert, it also came from Linda as well. I was questioning her name because they live in Carroll.
Okay.
So one of the biggest arguments that they would get into was over Robert purchasing flowers for the waitresses at a local Outback.
Oh,
It's really
but
sweet,
creepy.
but maybe it's creepy.
Yeah, if your
I
if your
don't
mother's
know-
complaining about
Yeah,
it.
I don't know why his mom
Sounds
got
like it might be a little excessive.
well, and like, so I don't know why she would get so mad about it. Like, was he spending money that he didn't have?
Or was she
was he-
jealous?
Was he being creepy about
Right.
it? And she's like, "You really need to stop stalking these girls." Like, it sounds sweet, but
Yeah.
maybe she knew more to the story.
Yeah.
So one day, Robert and Linda were at the condo together alone, and it was a normal day. It was not a normal day, excuse me. It was not a normal day because Linda usually works weekdays, but today she wasn't feeling so good, so she stayed home. And Robert obviously was like, "Mom, I don't care you're not feeling good.
Gosh, Mom.
Yeah. Can you take me and take me to go run errands?" Because Robert didn't drive. He didn't have his license. And she's like, "Wow, I really don't feel good." And he's like, "Oh my gosh, take me." And so they like argue for a while, but she ends up giving in and takes him to go run errands. On the way home from errand running, tensions were high. Oh my god, so much freaking cat hair. Tensions were high, and by the time they got home, they were in a heated argument. Like, it was not great. Robert was being more aggressive as usual and was determined to win this fight. He was like, I'm going to win this fight. And she's like, no, you're not. Can you guess what they were fighting over? You're probably not going to guess. You're not going to be able to guess.
Wait. The thermostat.
How'd you know, Brie? That's it.
It's a great way to fight. It's a great reason to fight.
You know, Rick, I had it at 54 up here in my room.
Oh my god.
Because it's so hot in my room.
It's so cold.
And he was like, I put it up to 62. And I was like, why?
That's so cold. I have mine set at 63.
So this is what they were arguing over. Avril Lavigne was currently on her Best Damn World Tour.
Oh, okay.
And Robert wanted tickets to go to the show that was in a neighboring town about 30 minutes away. But he didn't have the money to purchase the tickets, so he wanted his mom to buy them for him. And she was like, no.
It's Avril Lavigne, though.
It's Avril Lavigne!
Come on, Mom.
I get it.
Mom,
But
I'm
he
40.
didn't just want normal tickets. He wanted
tickets and flowers.
he
Sorry.
and then take her to Outback afterwards.
I don't care who you are. Outback Steakhouse is delicious.
So he wanted where is it? Box seats, like up front, or maybe it's like up high.
Like
I'm
in a
not sure. He
balcony.
wanted box seat tickets, like the most expensive tickets.
Right.
And he was like, call one of your friends that can hook me up for these tickets. And she's like, no. I have no idea if like she had like her friend like had hookups or something.
Maybe someone worked for the box office.
I'm not positive, but she was like, absolutely not. This is not happening. And he would not give in. It's Avril Lavigne, dude.
Yeah.
But also like you're 30.
Also, you're almost 40, dude. And you're asking your mom for a young woman's concert tickets.
Yes. That's rough, man.
A pop rock concert tickets.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So the argument was getting more and more heated. There was pounding on the walls, shouting, just not a great thing going on between the two of them. Linda eventually grabs the knife, and some reports were not very clear, or all of the reports were not very clear. Some were saying that she was using it while cooking dinner, and she was putting away dishes, so that's why she had a knife in her hand. But there were also reports saying that she even pointed the knife at him, and one report said that she held it to his face and threatened to stab him in the eye. But I'm just saying that this is off of what Robert said.
Right.
So
I don't blame Linda. Sorry. I'm like, I've had it.
Robert then snapped after seeing this knife, went over to their alcohol bar area and grabbed a bottle of Hennessy, which was full, and used it to club his mother on the back of her head, not once, but twice. The bottle was full, like I said, and it was I'm not letting him in. The bottle is heavy when it's empty because it's a thick bottle.
Right.
And so since it was full, I guesstimated, I tried to do the math, but it looks like it was about 7 pounds.
Right.
But
and then force.
Yep. And then with
like
the force, it's like
10, 12.
taking like a baseball bat to someone's head. Linda claps to the floor on her chest. Robert then grabs some knives, one in each hand, and stabs his mom over and over again.
Oh my gosh.
He ends up breaking both the knives in her back. Isn't that awful?
Oh my gosh. Poor Linda.
And this is really terrible for me to say, but I thought it was funny last night. I feel like that should be like a new metaphor. Like, not only did they stab me in the back, but they broke the knife in my back.
You stabbed the knife in my back so hard that you broke it.
Yes. Anyways, So Linda at this point is not moving, and Robert was drenched in his mother's blood, and he decided he was not done. Like, his mom was dead, but
said
it
no to
wasn't
Avril.
enough. Yeah.
Avril.
This would
Lavigne,
get him to
whatever.
the tickets. Avril Lavigne, yes. This is going to get him the tickets to go see her.
Yes, it would. Yeah, you do what you got to do, man.
Yeah. So he then goes through the house, grabs any toxic household product that he could find, from Drano to bleach to spray, to ant spray and coolant, and then takes it over to her and pours it all over her body and like to let it soak into her wounds and just start eating away at her flesh. Yeah. Robert then took a bath, had some tea, changed his clothes, and left the house.
Oh, okay.
So,
Went to Outback.
so much to Robert's dismay, the argument that they were having was not quiet like normal, and there was already multiple 911 calls called about the disturbance.
Okay.
By the time police got there, though,
They lived in a condo, didn't they?
yeah,
Okay, so it's like an apartment. Everybody's around them.
yeah. But by the time police got there, Robert was already gone, and police did a well-being check. When they opened the door, they found Linda where Robert left her. And they looked around the house and didn't find Robert, obviously, because Robert was actually busy shopping. Robert stopped at multiple stores, one being a bookstore. He grabbed a book there and scribbled a character from the soap opera General Hospital in there. And I looked, there was no...
Do you know who the character was?
No.
Oh.
Also, there was, like, no connection. Like, I guess, like, some people did, like, intense research on
the
like,
character.
oh, no, on the connection of, like, why? And there was no reason. So he was just like, JC Burgess. I don't know.
Did you watch General Hospital?
No.
Oh. I used to watch One Life to Live.
That's cute.
That's cool.
During his shopping spree, Robert was calling friends and family and telling them about the argument he and his mom had. One of them being Stan, which was Linda's boyfriend. According to Stan, Robert told him Robert had a struggle with her, and after she attacked him with a kitchen knife, According to Stan, Robert told him he and his mom had a struggle after she attacked him with a kitchen knife.
Okay.
And Stan warned Robert not to harm Linda. And Robert later reports... Then Stan later reports that he didn't believe anything that Robert said.
Okay.
He believes that something already bad happened to
Right.
Linda. 6 hours after the murder of Linda, the cops found Robert about 12 miles north of Carroll Springs in a neighboring town. Would you like to know how they found him?
Oh, God.
Well, Robert was actually called the police and told them what he was telling the rest of his family and friends. And he was like, yeah, like, we just had, like, a struggle. Like,
It's normal.
she, like, threatened me with a knife.
She's ridiculous. I can't
And
believe her.
so they're like, all right, Robert, like, that's cool. Where are you? And he's like, well, you have to come find me. And they're like, okay, so they tracked him down. Would you like to know where they found him? He was busy eating some chicken wings at a Hooters.
No. Okay.
I don't know if it was like...
Hooters has great chicken wings.
I don't know if it was the chicken wings, the beer, the boobs. I don't know. But he was like, I'm going out, man. I'm going
Living
out.
his best life right now.
So obviously Robert was arrested and was given a $2 million bail, and he awaited for trial, which ended up being 3 years later.
Dude, $2 million bail?
Yeah, I wouldn't want that man out
That
either.
sounds like a lot.
They actually only have to pay like 10%.
Really?
Mm-hmm. But they end up having
Like that's still a lot.
to get them out, they only have to pay 10%, but they eventually have to pay that full amount.
10%. What is that, like 20,000? I don't know.
200,000.
200. Okay.
That's still a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. That's chump change.
It's Trump change, especially for Robert.
Wait, is that called chump change or Trump change?
It's chump change.
That would be so funny if it was called Trump change because he's like known to be rich. And
That'd be really funny. That's a good one, Brie.
Right?
We should start that.
That's Trump change.
He doesn't have any money anymore, does he?
I mean, he does. But
I'm sure he does,
No,
yeah.
he doesn't technically, but I think he's good.
I'm sure he has money somewhere.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yes,
In the
on all
banana
the hotels that he owns.
in the banana stand.
It's good, buddy. It's good.
Okay, so September 2011, the prosecution presented a case stating that Robert had planned the murder, fueled by bottled up rage, when it exploded into violence. The prosecution was aiming for first-degree murder, which is premeditated, and the defense was hoping for second degree, which is basically like he snapped sort of situation.
It makes more sense.
Yeah, a mental situation or loss of control.
Right.
And the defense claimed Robert was simply washing away his problem, which was his mother. That was their defense. Okay, whatever. Robert actually spoke to the jury, which is very uncommon, during the trial, and claimed that he did not intend to kill his mother that day. That wasn't on his mind. He did admit he loved her, and even though they argued, he did admit he attacked her immediately when she picked up the knife, and that is when he snapped. So
he's trying to use self-defense.
It's very hard to argue self-defense when you pour ant poisoning in your mother's wounds.
That's true.
So
and you left.
Yeah.
You covered it up.
Yeah. So it was also confirmed, though, that Robert had skipped 3 days worth of his bipolar medication leading up to the murder, which was the basis of Robert's attorney's argument. Robert said he and his mother also didn't just argue about tickets. It was more than that, obviously, but he didn't say what it was.
Freaking Avril Lavigne.
It was more than that.
Wanted to get her
I
flowers.
also wanted to go see Hillary Duff. Where his defense fell apart, though, like we kind of talked about, was when the attorney said Robert blocked Linda's attack with the knife and then stabbed her with it. But given the level of violence and the use of the household chemicals, he went overboard, and it was an overkill. Usually called a crime of passion.
Right, yeah, I was about to say.
Yeah.
He broke the knife into her.
In her back.
And like 2 hands, like, what? Like, what did you do, dude? Like,
so the jury wasn't buying it, though, Brie. The jury deliberated for 2 hours and came back with a guilty verdict of murder in the first degree. And he was sentenced to 40 years in prison with no chance of parole.
Oh.
He'll be 80 by the time he gets out.
Bye, Robert. Wait, with no chance of parole?
No chance of parole. So that means he can't get out early.
Why would he get... Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like,
so
you can...
there was no, like, life... So he can get out at 80?
At 80.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, because otherwise it would be, like, 25. So, like, I'm not a lawyer, and I don't know anything about...
She is.
But... Stop
She's
it.
a lawyer.
No, I'm not. But from the experience that I have from researching these stories is, like, if it was second degree, he would probably get 25 years to life. But
so second degree is worse than first degree?
First degree is the worst.
Okay.
But 25 is, they say 25 to life. So what that is that it's 25 years or life. So it's whatever comes first.
Heard that in songs. 25 to life.
25 to life. I got, me and my baby, I told her, I said I got 25 to life, and that was like to give my kids a kiss, because I'm never going to see them again because I got 25 to life. Kiss, miss. And I'm telling them they're going to be missed. That was me trying to rap. That
I
was
don't know.
terrible.
You were going really fast with that, though. It kind of sounded like you were actually rapping.
I was just kind of repeating
I
myself.
was like, wait a second. Oh, it sounded believable. Maybe it's because I'm 2 claws in. Apparently it doesn't take a lot of claws to get me now. That was a good story.
Thank you.
That was a great one. I liked it.
It was a quick one.
Hey, the last couple of weeks have been long.
Yeah, they have.
Because me and Amy have been talking a lot, and you know what? You guys
And
can
I've
get
been
over
having really long stories, too.
it. Yeah, same. Oh, no, I had a short story last
I
week.
have to
but
take this off, though. It's making me claustrophobic.
Yeah, I would, too. stresses me out.
Alice saw me. She's like, "Oh, can I have that?" And I was like, "Yeah,
It's yours.
that's why I brought it out because I figured that you would want it." By the way, I had all this jewelry,
I believe you. I do.
but I had to like
I
dig
love it though.
I had to dig it out of my like old jewelry box. That's why I was like, when you
High school, middle school.
yeah, that's why when you were like I don't even know when I got this stuff. I probably got it like on clearance. I never wore any of it unless like I wore it ironically, but
Your
you're
emu
like,
face.
yes,
That's what my dad used to call it. He used to call me an emu.
emu,
Like, Dad, emo.
emo.
Get it right, Dad. It's emo.
That's when you were like, it's gonna be late. Is that okay? And like, I was working on my story, and I was like, oh hell yeah, because I gotta go find all this stuff.
Good. Okay.
And I wasn't gonna wear my makeup like this at work.
Yeah, I felt really bad. I'm sorry. Thank
No,
you.
You're good. So, ended up working out.
Oh wait, I just realized I did something. Never mind. It's fine.
Okay.
Do you want to hear some stories about some ghosts?
Can you please tell me a spooky story about a spooky ghost, sir?
I'm gonna cover Africa this week. Africa? We
You know, I
have
was
not
just-
done Africa yet, and we have listeners there.
Well, and I was just thinking that we haven't done outside of the United States in a while.
How does she say hi in Mean Girls? Jumbo? Jumbo?
Jamba.
Jumbo?
It's Jamba.
Okay, well, thank you for listening.
Jamba.
And I wanted to cover a place in Africa this week, so I'm covering the Castle of Good Hope.
Oh, I love that.
Another castle, but it's not actually really a castle.
Sure, but it's
So,
called that.
Yes. So, history, obviously. The Castle of Good Hope was built by the Dutch East India Company to establish a base while ships voyaged from Europe to East Asia during the spice trade.
The
Bunch of
space trade,
Space trade.
where we traded spaces.
Where we traded cinnamon for garlic. You know.
You said space.
No, I said spice trade. I said spice
you
trade.
said space.
Okay, well, I meant to
Okay,
say
well, I
we're
want
going to go back and
now. I
want to
talk about TLC space trading spaces.
Definitely not space trade. Space trade was never a thing. It's spice trade.
It's space trade. Okay, I'm sorry.
Spice.
I'll be done.
Spice is nice. They were trading one Spice Girl character, scary for sporty. There you go.
I was thinking of Bubbles and
Buttercup.
Buttercup.
It's the Powder Puff Girls. Close enough.
You know what? They're basically all the same. They all have some sort of power.
They're not at all. All right.
Sorry, I'm done.
Oh, I miss you. Okay. So in 1652, it's really far away.
That
Really
is
far
very far
back.
away.
Originally stood the first fortress, being made of clay and timber, but they made some upgrades since they decided that this was kind of going to be like their midway stopping point, I guess.
Okay.
Which is the building we know now, and it was constructed between 666 and 1679 by slave soldiers and sailors, becoming the oldest existing colonial building in South Africa. Sorry, I got paranoid for a second.
You're good.
It is a pentagonal yellow fortress painted, and it was painted that color to like lessen the effects of heat and sun.
Oh,
Makes sense.
interesting. Yeah.
Around its border.
Did it also like blend into this?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, it's bright yellow.
Yeah,
It looks like your banana.
I knew
You'd
that.
love it. Around its border was it was surrounded by large walls, a moat, and
Oh.
5 bastions, which I learned are kind of like
Bathrooms.
so what they look like to me is like a bay window, but for like a barrier of like a fort, like a military
Oh,
fort.
Yeah.
And it's where like soldiers would stand and protect.
Okay. It's very castle-like, especially with
yes,
the moat.
yeah. I love the moat.
Did they have alligators in it? Sharks.
You know, they probably had crocodiles because I think they have
Crocodiles.
it was Africa, but it wasn't Australia. But I think they have crocodiles in that side of the globe. I don't know.
I thought they only existed in
Australia?
Australia.
I'm pretty sure they don't. I don't know.
Okay. Well, I know they're in
We'll
Florida.
have to Google it. Crocodiles are not in Florida.
You see, or
At the zoo, gators are in Florida.
you're right.
I know I'm right.
Okay, Miss Florida.
So the 5 bastions were named after Willem III van Orne. I'm going to mess up a lot of names.
Okay, go ahead.
Nassau. And they were, I felt the need to
It's
name
NASA.
Space and NASA. Yes, we were talking about space and NASA today.
I just recently learned that from Will Arnett.
You learned what?
Nassau is actually pronounced NASA.
Nassau?
Yeah.
Nassau. I don't think it is.
Okay. I might be thinking of something
I
different.
think you're thinking of something different. This is
Like
a different country.
Like Nassau, Bahamas.
Oh, maybe. Maybe
And
it is NASA.
I thought
then.
it was NASA.
Maybe it is. I don't know. Maybe you might be right. I should have looked at the pronunciation of it. Okay,
Shame
so we're
on
gonna
you,
go
Brie.
Willem the
You're giving everyone else this homework, and you won't even do your own.
But I knew Orne is actually orange. Willem the Third Van Orange
Oh,
in English. NASA, Leerdam.
you don't have. It's Nassau.
Oh my God, I'm gonna skip this damn part.
Anyways, this is our podcast. What's with the neighbors? We'll see you guys next week.
We mispronounce everything. So it was named after Leerdam, Buren, Katzelnerbogen, NASA, and Orange. I'm just going to say Orange because that's
Mr. Orange.
That's the American way to pronounce it. It says, I even put it in parentheses. Okay, see, so on the inside, it contained a church, a bakery, workshops, living quarters, shops, and holding cells, and surrounding it was a wall that protected its citizens in case of attacks.
Wow.
In 1684, a bell tower was constructed, and it still hangs today, weighing over 660 pounds, announcing the time, and it was used as a warning device and it was heard. It can be heard from like miles away.
It was like a clock.
Yeah. It was a bell to like a church bell.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
That's really. I want to look up a picture, but my phone's almost dead.
It's cool. It's good. It's cool. Between the years 1899 and 1902, the Castle of Good Hope was used as a prison. A famous prisoner named Fritz Jobert Disquin, leader of the Dissenick spy ring, was caught and held here. He was crushed to death by a solid stone while trying to dig himself out with an iron spoon. So that's fun.
My gosh.
Also, being that there was a prison here in the late 1800s, there was a torture chamber. Typical.
Mm-hmm.
And it was called the Donkergat, or the Dark Hole. And it was a windowless dungeon, which also sometimes flooded in the winter and drowned its prisoners. Super cool.
So
Wanna go there.
That's fun.
So that's a little bit of the history. So there's quite a bit of legends and stories from this place.
Uh-huh.
One story associated with the castle involved the former governor, Peter Gisbert
Peter Piper
Van Noot.
Gill?
Just remember Van Noot.
Van Noot. Okay.
Van Noot. Who died. He died on April 23rd of 1728, on the same day that he illegally sentenced 5 military deserters to death. One of the soldiers demanded he come to watch the execution, which he didn't, and it's believed that one person put a curse on Van Noot.
Oh my gosh.
Later that day, Van Noot was found dead, slouched over his desk with a look of terror across his face. And he was claimed to be buried in a cheap coffin because they didn't like what he did. And he's buried in a secret place because the council didn't want him to be buried on sacred ground.
Whoa, Brie.
Because he illegally did, you don't just put people, you don't kill people
that's
just
not
for
cool.
that.
Yeah. I love that. But I also wish that they didn't tell him. I wish that people knew where he was.
Yeah, she would go spit on his grave.
Yeah.
At some point in the 1700s, a soldier was found hanging from the bell rope in the bell tower, which overlooks the entrance of the castle. And after his death, the bell was sealed off, and no one can get into it.
Oh,
But the bell is known to strike on its own occasion. Still,
that's weird. I love that.
a lady believed to be Anne Barnard supposedly haunts the castle. She lived there in the 18th century, and she was responsible to, I don't know what this word means. She was responsible to entertain the guests, and I mean entertain because I don't know what like that
She
like
juggled
if she
for them.
I
She was
d-
a stand-up
I
comedian.
don't know if she like went and brought them their like said like how can I make you more comfortable? Can I bring you some drinks? Can I bring you your things? I don't think it was a dirty thing. I think she just like was like the woman there that like
Oh,
took care of everybody.
Sweet baby angel.
She was nice. And apparently she still continues to do the same job today.
What does she do?
See if anybody needs any help or services. I don't know. I don't know what the word entertain means
Sweet,
in that sentence.
sweet, innocent,
And
Wonderland,
yeah.
Anne.
So, given its age and colorful history, of course, this place is allegedly haunted and was first reported in 1915 when the apparition of a tall gentleman man was spotted on one of the castle's ramparts. Even the guards and soldiers at the castle at night avoid passing through the castle's archways because they fear the restless souls.
Oh,
So evidently
I hate that.
there's a black dog, a ghost dog there, who's been known to pounce on unsuspecting visitors. And like he like attacks.
Oh,
Not like
Bad-
oh he's
bad-
gonna lick me.
yeah, bad pounds.
Not like
okay.
Dakota coming at you, like Dakota on rabies comes at you and then he just vanishes in the air.
That's so terrifying.
Reports of a luminous man leaping off the castle walls disappearing before he hits the ground have been
that's
said.
so sad.
A woman in gray has been spotted roaming the hall, sometimes crying and sobbing.
Because
Really
that was her
depressing.
husband.
It's really sad to have
That's
to like
very
live your
sad.
life like that. Sightings of a figure pacing between the battlements. Workers have reported hearing a man cursing and swearing inside the castle, believed to be Van Nu. Like, son of a bitch! Stub my
Son of
toe
a-
again.
Son of a gun.
That's not even a cuss word. Son of a gun. A man and a woman are frequently heard arguing near the guards room. Like,
What an awful life to live
Right.
after.
and how awkward for everyone else. Like, being around live couples that have to argue all the time. It's like, this is awkward. Oh, they're arguing about who left the whatever on. So I'm
Can you
gonna
just
walk
apologize? It's
away.
clearly your fault. I wasn't even there, but I can tell.
Last paranormal findings include the staff and visitors reporting cold spots, mist in photos, feeling of being watched, hearing footsteps, voices, whispers, murmurs, and screams, as well as the sound of whips and chains in the old dungeon.
No.
Lights have been known to malfunction, like flickering on and off, and objects have been moved around. As of today, the Castle of Good Hope is open to the public for tours where you can learn about its long history, maybe get attacked by a phantom dog, I don't know, and even have lunch at the Governor restaurant, which is right there on the site. And that is the Castle of Good Hope.
Brie, I loved that one. Thank
Very
you.
Short, sweet, fun.
That was fun. That was a fun
I
one.
finally covered one in another country again.
The-
Boom.
The dog.
And that's like a normal thing because I saw it in like multiple sites that I would research. Phantom dog attacks you. Go here and you could have a phantom. Like what?
No, yeah. You know what would be fun is to find out what it feels like to be attacked by a dog without actually being attacked
Is it a
by
puppy?
dog. If it was
I would be attacked by a puppy because it'd probably be like attacked by kids.
like a fun little,
And if I had puppy breath,
I love that.
you know where to find us, guys.
Find us on all of the social medias, please.
Yeah.
At
Also,
WWTN Podcast.
I know we haven't been talking about this a lot lately, but give us a rating on iTunes or Spotify because they are helpful. So, and check out our Patreon because you could see all the dirty deets and like the story that I maybe cut out from this episode. I didn't go over details in it.
I'm not gonna lie, you guys, we talk about stuff that's not on the episode.
We do.
In Patreon.
Especially since me and Amy haven't been seeing each other a lot lately. Yeah. We've been talking a lot more. So
we talk a lot of smack.
How long these episodes are, we've been talking so much more.
You want to hear some smack? Get into Patreon and find out. Yeah. Are we talking about you? Probably.
Maybe. And you can get the episodes early too. Yeah. And you get a free magnet. Ba-boom.
Ba-boom. Yeah, and also, we also take listener stories, which, that's patreon.com/WWTN podcast.
Yeah.
You can find it on our website, what'swiththeneighbors.com. And you can also find a link to our merch on that also, because our merch is super dope.
Yes, please check out our merch.
I'm just going to say, really every time I wear our logo shirt anywhere, someone compliments it.
Samesies. So yes, and also you can submit your listener stories where Amy was getting to. True crime, paranormal, neighborhood. Send them all in. We are literally dying to do another listener story,
We're
guys.
Not getting any younger here, people.
Yeah, come on, send them in. Everybody tells us them in person or comments them on Facebook. Like, no, write it out and send it in. Give us
write
details.
It out on the computer.
Yes. You know what? If you want to mail it to us, internet. If you want to mail it to us, message us on Facebook, and I will gladly give you my address to mail it to, or my neighbors.
Email,
which is
so funny. That's so funny. But if you want to email it to us, it's what'swiththeneighbors@gmail.com.
WWTNpodcast@gmail.com.
And neighbors is spelled NEIGH.
But it's not what'swiththeneighbors@gmail.com. It's WWTNpodcast@gmail.com. So everything that Amy is saying, omit.
It's WWTNpodcast@gmail.com. And if you want to say later on Patreon, you can find me murdering Brie.
Hey, we should make tie-dye shirts. Anyway, sorry.
Okay. So that is that on that.
That's the show.
This is my neighborhood story.
Oh yeah, you have a neighborhood story.
I was just letting you walk through it. You're good.
Sorry.
So this is a note that I found. Not personally. I found it on the.
Whoa.
I found it on the computer on the internet.
Okay.
World Wide Web.
Oh yeah. I know what that is. Okay. Thank you for elaborating.
You're welcome.
Whew.
So please stop fighting. Everyone can hear you. Everyone knows your personal business, and I am embarrassed for you. Some of us need to work in the morning and cannot listen to your bickering every night, underlined. So please stop arguing. Keep it down. Go fight in your car or break up already. Love the building at 2 a.m. Like, that's so...
That is straight up a sign.
You were talking about the couple arguing.
Yeah.
And I was like, my neighborhood story
Love
is perfect.
the building at 2 a.m.
Love the building.
But seriously, if there's not a bigger sign, you should probably break up. If
I mean, it's a literal sign. It's a literal sign.
You guys need to
That's so embarrassing.
It's done.
I don't even have the emotional capacity to argue that much.
No.
That's disgusting.
Ew.
Brie, do you wear a thong?
I'm it. Oh, let me break my arm.
Oh, you break your arm. You're gonna break. Say to your cats, Russ.
Oh, have you checked in?
Have you checked in on the neighbors? Normally, you're the one that keeps us on track here.
I know. It's because I've had claws.
I want to go get my nails done this weekend. You want to know what I got for my desk?
What'd you get?
I got an under the desk bike.
Ooh, like a little mini one?
Yeah.
How cool. So you
I'm
can
s-
feel like you're like, so you can be like a little active while you're like sitting there and like
Yeah.
burning, like, yeah, I just burn like
I just burned like
100
14
calories.
calories.
Oh, like 14.
I'm at 1400. That's so many calories.
What's with the neighbors?
Reading me out.
Have you checked in on your neighbors lately?
What's with the neighbors? Ew, no, that's gross.
I don't think you said that.
What's with, yeah, I did. What's with the neighbors? Oh my gosh. Goodbye,
Freaking
everybody.
me out.
What's with the neighbors?
You can just play in the rest later.